Hello, everyone, and welcome to the talk, exploring patterns to debug our life, your life. I'm so happy to speak here in the amazing Italy for you today at PyCon. And I really want to be clear, and we start with showing the agenda where we're going to talk about today. So first, we're going to say a little bit about this. Then I'm talking about patterns, let's say life patterns. And we're going to learn how to debug them via implementing a coding debugging methodology, kind of. We're going to repack everything, and I'm going to thank you for listening to this talk. There will be some time for questions, and we try to provide some answers.
I have my mic, Dennie. Thanks. First, I have a confession to make. This is my first talk in English. So I have my cheat sheet here because I'm a public speaker, but I usually I speak in Dutch, in my mother tongue, and people in the audience have these headphones and my talks are getting translated, but here there was no budget. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. I'm not that important, but so I am Miriam. I live in Belgium. I have a small coaching practice. I actually coach people who are on the autism spectrum, and I also provide consultancy to their professional coworkers. I share my expertise in autism as a public speaker and as a writer. And recently, I also started my own publishing business, MPE Books, which has nothing to do with ebooks, but all with my signature, like MPE from Miriam Perone. And we actually publish children books that have a story with a certain, valuable life lesson in it. So today, I'm here with Dennie, and Dennie and I are going to share with you some insights from the IT world and the psychological world, and we hope that the merge insights of both worlds are as inspiring to you as they are to us.
So I'm Dennie de Klerk. I'm president and developer at DDSoft, a non-profit in Belgium. And we really connect the IT industry with the social industry, bi-directional. So we help the IT industry with social insights, like also self-support and expertise about autism, and also about making their product more accessible, like color accessibility, software for people with learning disabilities, and vice versa. We help non-profits and the social industry with IT. I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I know maybe it sounds funny at the Python conference, but there are no labels, there are no boxes. We are just going cross-industry all the way. I have my hashtag dreaming as believing. I even print it on my t-shirt, so how addicted I am to the mantra. So let's start with patterns. And of course, if we talk about patterns to start with, it's going to be about some life patterns, because in code you have patterns, but in life too. And let's start with the law of gravity. Everyone knows Newton, what happens when the apple falls on his head. That was the moment that the law of gravity was invented. But we all use the law of gravity. It's not just an universal law that we know this there, we use it. Even the theme park industry, the aviation, but even IT, for example. Internet shouldn't be there without satellites, and therefore also law of attraction, law of gravity is needed. And for example, global positioning system. These are IT apps using the law of gravity. We also have the law of proximity. The closer something is with you, and the bigger it is, the more chance that you're going to see it. The further it is, and the smaller it is, the less dense you're going to see it. So there's a universal law of proximity, and it is used by on marketing and web forums and trying to selling your product on the right, that people hit the right button. Really important in life. And then you have the law of gravity. That's something very special. In fact, it means that everything you give your attention on, everything you really desire and gets your attention, it grows, it becomes bigger. As some people say, it's it's pseudoscience. I'm going to be honest with you today. It is pseudoscience. But we need to see pseudoscience as pseudocode. That means it's not proven yet, it's not working yet. We all learn to use coding, and we all learn to do it by pseudocode, or most of us. If you put the pseudocode or the pseudo-Python in your device, nothing will work. This way to think about. It's a way to learn code to make your abstractions. So the science of pseudoscience is ways to think about to work science on. And in practice, it means that your mind vibrates, but vibrations, that's not measured yet. It's like the frequency modulation radio, but not measured yet with the current science. But you can set a channel and your vibrations, and you will attract everything on the channel. And all the things is will be possible, not it's already possible, it's not will be possible. It will be proven, I really strongly believe, with the quantum science and the quantum computing. And that's the reason that this is the right moment and the right time to give such kinds of talks here, because this is the time for quantum computing and quantum science. But now I give the mic back. I pass it to Miriam.
Thank you. Well, there are various ways to dig into this law of attraction. One of the ways that I would have to a closer look at together with you today is kind of a behavioral framework that I borrowed from the cognitive behavioral therapy. And the cognitive behavioral therapy that thoughts have an influence on feelings and actions of human beings. So there is kind of an interaction between the way that we think, how we feel, and then what we do. Well, how is that? Let me explain to you by telling you a story. One day there was this young woman who came into my practice and she was like, "Oh, Miriam, you have to help me. Can you help me? I feel very down." Let's call her Anna. And I said, "Well, Anna, what's the matter? Well, why are you so down?" I have a job interview next week." And I was like, "Well, that's good news. You've been looking for a job for a few weeks now, so having this job interview next week, that's good, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, but I'm scared. Like last time they didn't hire me, and the feedback that they gave me was that that I didn't seem motivated enough to get the job." And I was like, "Motivated?" She said, "Yeah, I think it's because I didn't smile." I said, "Why was it so difficult for you to put on a smile on your face during the interview?" And she said, "Miriam, I know that this happens, but when I feel very nervous and tensed, I have this indifferent look on my face." And this made them think that, I didn't really want the job, So, okay, let me recap the story here. Anna was not hired because the people interviewing her were thinking that she was not very interested in the job that she applied for. And that was due to her indifferent look, indifferent expression on her face. And that was the result of her feeling very nervous and tensed. Okay? So, now I have to cheat. So, now she's scared. And she thinks, they'll think that I'm not motivated and I don't really want the position. And then I won't get the fact that the job that in fact I do really, really want so bad. So how do you think that Anna will feel when she enters the interviewer's room with this thought in her head, with this thought on her mind? Well, I believe that she will feel very insecure, that she will feel restless, tensed, and nervous, okay? And how will this feeling have an impact on her behavior? Probably it will turn out this way, that she won't smile, that she'll have this very serious, tensed expression on her face, this indifferent look of her, okay? So, and the consequence might be that, again, people will interpret this as, she's not really motivated to have this job, let's hire somebody else, okay? So, to experience consciously how thoughts have an impact on our feeling, let's do this little exercise together. In a minute, you're going to close your eyes, not now, just in a minute, let me explain first. You're going to close your eyes, and to everything that comes to you, you say the word no. You don't have to say it out loud, just say it in your head. Like to every thought that crosses your mind, whatever it is, good or bad, just answer it with a no. When you maybe smell the perfume of your neighbor, whether you like it or not, answer it with the word no. When you hear something, no. Even, to this exercise, say no. Okay? Okay, now close your eyes. Just take this minute to answer with a no to everything that comes to you. Okay, you can open your eyes again. Can you feel what this no saying did to you? What do you feel? Okay, now shake it off. Shake your arms, shake your legs, shoulders, shake your head, just shake it off, It's not a nice feeling. Shake it off, and we're going to repeat this exercise, but this time we're going to yes. So every thought, popping up into your head, it doesn't matter what thought it is, answer it with yes. Every smell that you smell, every that you smell, everything that you hear, ventilation and stuff like that, just everything that you experience is welcome. Okay? Now, close your eyes. And say yes. Everything that you experience is welcome to be there. Just answer it with a short yes. Keep repeating the word yes in your head. Thank you. You can open your eyes again. Can you feel what the word did to you? Was there a difference between no and yes? Who experienced a difference? Please raise your hand. Okay, all of you. Yes. Okay. So, and these were only two little words, like no and yes. No often brings some like unrest, agitation in our heads, while the word yes has a more relaxing effect. And these are only two little words, nevertheless. Thoughts have an impact on how we feel. Some thoughts make us feel worried, angry, anxious, you name it. Other thoughts bring a certain peace of mind, a certain, confidence, feeling of confidence, or they make us feel happy, you see? So now let's try and hack our thoughts. Instead of thinking, they'll think I'm not motivated, blah, blah, blah. What would happen if we change this thought into Anna's brain and change it to a more helpful one, replace it with a more helpful one, like, for example, this one. I am very motivated to get this position. I have all the capabilities to function well in it, and I am very talented for this job. So how do you think Anna will feel when she enters the room with this kind of mindset, with this thought running through her head? According to me, she will feel more confident or more self-confident and more relaxed. And it will be shown in her behavior by being able to have a relaxed conversation, maybe even relax her facial muscles and be able to put a smile on her face during the interview. And which will probably make a friendly impression on the people interviewing her for the job. The consequence is more likely to be that the interviewer interprets her behavior as confident, capable, friendly. This is the kind of person that I want on my team, and she might get selected for the next round of applications and maybe even further on for the job. Okay, so what this framework is all about is that there is actually nothing you can do about the situation, about the event. What happened has happened. You cannot go back in time. Don't waste any energy about thinking about that. But what we can change is the way that we think. There is a choice there. And this is the way that you can change the outcome by changing your thoughts, so you can actually use this framework to debug your life, exploring your patterns.
So I guess right now, we want to learn more how to debug our way of thinking. And first of all, something is really, really important. You really need to know that you really can hack your brain. It's just like you can hack any new startup ID, any new business development program ID for a customer. It isn't there yet, but you can create it. You can hack the code. You even good can create your brain. And I guess today, I'm not sure, but I guess in this talk, you missed a bit about software development. So we're going to match it together with an additional the framework. We moved it a bit to IT, and we're going to have it side by side, the IT side of life and the human side of life. For this time, I'm going to do the IT part. And Miriam, do you want to do the human part?
I'll do the human part.
You can do this. So an IT question, we're going to do it really simple and basic, between new project for a customer or for our own company startup, and the web form isn't working. Damn. Oh. So what are we going to do? What are developers going to do? So first of all, maybe we can try to remove a part of the validation code. So we assume that the website is not working, the web form, due to the validation method. So we assume the error is in the validation. So we remove the part of the validation code. We're going to run it, we're going to compile it, we're going to run it. It's going to compile, the web form works again without validation. It's not save it is. So we add a new validation method. We press run, and it works, yes! We had a new web form, that time it's working. Okay, but honestly, the first time you try new code is not the most clean code you ever wrote. I think you all know that, if you try new technologies or new methodologies. So exercise here is you refactor the new validation method and make it better, make it more performant, make it clean code, make it using the latest and greatest refactoring and methodologies and syntaxing, and you know all it is? Okay. And we're going to repeat something. We're going to implement the new validation methods for all web form elements, not only for this web form, because we have a really great project with a lot of web forms. How do we do it with human stuff?
Well, in a similar way, actually. There is a similar way to debug your life or your patterns, your life patterns. First of all, you want to remove unhelpful thoughts. When you see that the outcome is not what you want, go back not to the event, not the situation, you can't do anything about that, but change the thought about it. And remove it, add helpful thought instead. And then you want to exercise, of course. You want to see if then the outcome will be more what you want in life. And this is a process of trial and error, you know. You need to repeat it until you have the outcome that you really want. And then there is the repeat step there, which means that, you know, unfortunately, the unhelpful thoughts are the ones that pop up automatically in our brains. And being conscious about this automatic happening helps you to, to change it, change this pattern. There are people have 52 thoughts in their mind in 1 hour. So that's almost 1 thought per minute. That's way a lot of opportunities to train yourself there, you know. So repeat it daily until you get the outcome that you really, really like.
So let me back up the essential of this talk. So we explore some life patterns, the vision behind the life patterns, how we can change unwanted things in our life. Then Miriam presented the behavior framework, was already a framework that is already implemented in the psychology, or call it the modern psychology. And of course, we brought it back to IT because that's what we are here for at the IT conference. And we showed how we adjusted this framework a little bit, or we had an additional framework on it, how you call it, how to can you really concrete debug your life as the same thing as you build an IT project, and that we show it in examples side by side. So I hope you all right now at this time are really, really inspired to debug the things in life you want to change and to be more successful, more great, and better than ever before. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Miriam and Dennie, for a really wonderful session. Right now, there is no question on Slido, but if anybody has, oh, you just stopped phone? Okay, you could just ask. I mean, let me pass the mic to you.
Based on your experience, debugging the thoughts, is it feasible always to do it by yourself, or try to do it with someone else, some external person? Is it more efficient? What do you recommend?
It depends. Like, I had coaching in this for a while, for several years actually. Like I said, the unhelpful thoughts pop up automatically, and sometimes people need some help to transform them into more helpful ones. Sometimes you can do it by yourself, and sometimes you need a friend, or maybe even a psychologist or a coach, and that's okay, that's perfectly fine. Is that an answer on your, okay. Feel free to ask, you know, I have big teeth, but I don't bite.
Yeah, please ask.
So do you suggest meditation as a process for being conscious of thoughts and you know, getting to change the ones you are aware are not good?
I didn't understand the first...
Meditation.
Oh, meditation. Ja, so antwoord maar zo, Dennie.
Yeah, I think in meditation, like for example, one of the forms of meditation, mindfulness, really helps a lot with ordering your thoughts. So meditation can help at first of all ordering your thought and also accepting those thoughts. So it's part of it. It can be so, but some people who are open for it has great results, and some people aren't. And yeah, but I use it honestly.
You know, there is different ways of practicing meditation, and what I think also is meditation might help you to calm down. When there is an unhelpful thought, most of the time, you know, these are thoughts that make us scared, worried, sad, angry. So when you're in this state of mind, it's very difficult to change the thought in a more helpful one. It's almost not possible. So where meditation might help is to just relax, okay, take a step back, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So relax, back, and then the creativity will come to change your thoughts. So yeah, meditation might help.
I want to say one thing more about the meditation thing. I really come back to IT again. As you know, there are no methods, there is nothing in tech you can do only on one way. So the code you want to change, there's nothing in code that you only can do on one way. So meditation is one way. If you do it with code, you do it, but it can also be another way who feels better for you.
We have two questions here now, but the time is fast spent, so maybe you could answer them super quick. Okay, so the first one, how to debug thoughts if you suffer of insomnia? How to debug thoughts if you suffer of insomnia?
Oh, okay. How to debug thoughts in the kind of insomnia? I first let Miriam, and then I give my insight. I start with Miriam.
with insomnia. I don't have a lot of experience in insomnia. I'm one of these happy girls that, I lay down and then, I'm sleep minutes. But I learned that as well. I learned a technique to get myself to sleep like in less than 5 minutes. And when people are not able to sleep most of the time, it's because, how you call it,
Thinking, all
thinking
the
too
same
much
thoughts,
about,
all the same bad thoughts, thinking again.
Yeah.
The bad part, not the happy part. Always thinking the same bad part.
Yes. Something that you might want to try is, instead of all these unhelpful thoughts running through your head when you're trying to sleep, is think of 3 things, only 3, or even only 1 if you want, that you feel thankful for, that you feel grateful for that day. Feeling thankful, feeling grateful has this very relaxing impact on you, which might help you to get to sleep a little faster, a little easier.
In addition to that is having a good night hygiene or a good evening bed routine hygiene, also very great. So you can even take, for example, a shower and then each night before going to sleep, and then going to bed and just think about the best things in the day you had. So it's also do you call it meditation or visualization, but you just think about the best thing that happens in the day. And even it can be small things, and people who are really stressed or depressed, they exist, and I have nothing bad to say about it, but really then it's really an exercise to think of the great thing. For example, just the taste of the awesome tea or the coffee that you have, the taste that you ate something good or drink something good, even coffee, a cake, something, a meal, and really enjoying that feeling. And that's also a way that really helps you to fall in sleep on a very kind way and a very easy way of, yeah.
So for the next question, Dennie, yeah, do you think these techniques should help with the feeling of jealousy? And should that feeling stay, or is it a negative one?
No, I think jealousy is not something bad, I think. So jealousy has a way of tones and variations. Jealousy is a spectrum, and some people can be jealous for the opportunities that they have, and the opportunity that I can speak the world with my non-profit while others don't have. But there's a difference between healthy jealousy and unhealthy jealousy. If jealousy leads into hate, into frustration, oh my God, she has all these things and I don't have it, sorry. That's very unhealthy jealous, and it's not okay. But jealousy is also a word that can be used for ambition. For example, looking up to speakers. So I started my speaker career looking up, oh my God, and that person, the speaker, travels all the world and he did everything. Yeah, I'm jealous of that. But I'm not negative jealous, I'm positive jealous, and I'm looking up to that person, him or her, and I try to live the lifestyle they have. And then it's a very positive jealousy. So jealousy is okay, and people have a reason to be jealous sometimes. But then it is positive jealousy, something to work up to look up to, is more than okay. It's like an aspiration. If it's negative jealousy, yeah, then there is some work.
Then
to
it's
do.
unhelpful, right?
Finally, I have a question of mine. Are there differences between this way of, debugging your thoughts and saying affirmations? Are there differences between debugging your thoughts, I mean, the way you explained, and then, saying affirmations? Okay, let me go again. Okay, the question is
between debugging your thoughts
and saying affirmations.
Affirmations.
Yeah.
Affirmations.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't
Yes.
understand the word. Sorry, so bad. Affirmations really help. And as I said before, some people say it's all pseudoscience and law of attraction. But affirmations as a technology is also used by law of attraction. I can achieve this. I can do this. I combine it to jealousy. The positive jealousy. You look up to a speaker. Oh, you look up to the speaker. You are jealous in a good way. And you really do affirmations. I can do that. I will be there sometime. I am a speaker. Even without you are a speaker yet, you are a speaker. So you affirm yourself. For the job interview example of Miriam, I get this job. I get this job. And you say it. This is an affirmation. And If you ask me, it works. I did it in my Weeming is believing. In fact, Weeming is believing, in fact, is an affirmation wrapped into a hashtag to be IT liked. Have you say anything about affirmations, Miriam?
We're not saying that saying affirmations or even changing your unhelpful thoughts into helpful ones will always get the outcome that you want. You know, we cannot predict the future. If I would be able to, I would not stand here. I would be counting my money on Ibiza or something. You know, so. But what does help is the affirmations do help, and helpful thoughts do help to make you feel a little more comfortable, calm and comfortable, which will reflect in your behavior, and your behavior will have an impact and an effect on your environment, other people around you. So in a certain way, yes, affirmations have an effect, and repeating them. You know, and even in business we say this, like, oh, fake it till you make it. It's really that. It's all about affirmation, and it's all about sending out an impression to get it back. It's all about, you know, attracting what you want.
All right. Thank you so much, Miriam, and thank you, Dennis.